What up, YouTube legs? Come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast spawning on the top right-hand side of the map. It's our green Genetron player Relax going up against his opponent spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map. It's our red Xayid player Stassin. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're looking at this game and you're like, what the hell is this? This isn't StarCraft 2. Well, yeah, technically you're right. Technically it's not StarCraft 2. This is the Custom Scion Races mod, which adds 3 new playable races to the StarCraft 2 universe. It's a super sick mod, and I highly recommend you guys check it out when you get the chance. Now, we're already witnessing something very weird. So if you're not familiar with the Genetron, they play like a weird in-between of, I want to say, the Terran and the Protoss, where, look, they basically 3D print their buildings and that's it. It's basically the warp and mechanic for the Protoss. And we have what is an analysis terminal kind of hidden right there. So what that tells me is that there's possibly some cheese, because that analysis terminal is basically the forge for the Genetron, which allows them to build static defense. We do have some attempted mineral harassment from Stassin right there. And, oh man, he spots this. So I've never seen this. Maybe I've seen this once casting the Custom Scion Races mod, but that kind of tells me that there's going to be some cheese. And there it is. There it is. We have the cannon rush equivalent coming out from this Genetron player, the repulsor coming down behind the mineral line in the natural base location. Do we have another one? No, we don't. So this ACR basically makes itself known, throws down the repulsor, and then chills at the wall in the natural base location. Will Stassin notice this? He did see the analysis terminal. He spotted that, and he also spotted what I feel like is kind of a late natural base expansion. I mean, to be fair, there is the manufacturer right here in the main base as well. Oh, but here we go. One worker going down. Will the second worker go down? Yes, it will. So Stassin did spot this repulsor spawning with just a little bit less health. And do we have another one? Yes, we do. So there it is. The repulsor in the main base will ultimately go down, though we have quite a few scavengers attacking that thing. But this repulsor with its 2 kills, so 2 workers killed by Relax at this point in the game. Stassin, oh no, and another repulsor in the in the main base location. You guys, I am about this chaos. This is hilarious. The Spitfire not getting any kills. Okay, getting 1 kill. This repulsor up here in the main base location will get canceled. I keep wanting to say the natural base location because there's one that's alive and well in the natural base location. That Spitfire will ultimately go down. How many workers total killed in this engagement? So 3 workers killed. That's really not bad, but this scavenger nest, you guys. Okay, we have the Scorpulus, which is a range-only unit. It's a really cool unit. Not necessarily the best unit, I feel like, against structures. It has an ability. It's got, like, a Venom ability that reduces the movement speed of any unit. It hits by about 30%, I believe. But this Scavenger Nest is dangerously close to dead. Stassin, are you going to save this is the question. We also have a healing animation on these buildings and this unit as well. So I'll tell you in a second where that comes from. This this repulsor ultimately going down. So the feeding pool, it's the it's like the supply depot equivalent for the Xayid, and it heals up to 3 units at a time within this like pylon's worth of distance, like this pylon's worth of radius. So look at that. The scavenger nest is going to get healed thanks to this feeding pool, and it doesn't use energy. It's literally just like, okay, I got 3 units. I can heal at a time forever. Super cool. So that will ultimately increase the healing for the scavenger nest. Not bad. We also have what is going to be, I think, some scouting army units going to check out what's going on the Genetron side of the map. There's assembly arrays, it looks like, in the natural base location, and here's another assembly array in the main base as well. Along with some tech here, we have an outfitting station. So the assembly array, this is a really cool structure. It allows you to build flying units, and here we go. We've got the Hornet already, which is like a high-speed uncloaked Banshee is what I would compare it to. An attempted poke at the natural base location for Stassin, but Relax is well and turtled at this point in the game. Will he throw down a 3rd base? We will see. There's no 3rd base for our red Xayid player as well. And you know what? I really like this response from Relax. He really didn't go all out like a cannon rushing Protoss would do, like a dirty cannon rushing Protoss. Not that I just called myself out, because I totally don't do that at all. I've never actually done a cannon rush in my life. Totally not lying. He really didn't overcommit to this kind of like cannon rush equivalent. And I love the response, going for kind of a turtle and really keeping up with his macro as well. Taking a look at the army supply, 34 army supply for our red Xayid player to what is 19 army supply for Relax. So we do see a little bit less army supply for our green Genetron player, but I love the spread of units. We have some flying units, we have some ground units, we have the Fixer, which is like the medic equivalent for the Genetron, but it also attacks. And what is this? We also have the processor. The processor is like a high-speed uncloaked observer. Super cool. And I forgot to mention already, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I cast custom StarCraft 2 content all the time, including the SC Evo Complete mod, which adds the SC1 races into the StarCraft 2 engine. Also a very cool mod, so I'm all about the mods, especially with StarCraft 2. I think it adds so much life to the game. It's actually ridiculous. We have a third base coming down for our red Xayid player as well. This army, this green army, will actually spot it at the most inopportune moment, but the Xayid army, the red army, is actually in a pretty decent position to engage this, and this is way more army supply for the red than the green. All these green units will get melted. Oh no! These blitzers really trying to keep themselves alive, putting themselves into kind of a choke point position, but taking a look at the resources lost, 500, now 600 resources lost for red, now 700 resources lost for red, to what is 1,800 resources lost for green. These Hornets, though, doing a lot of damage. How many workers went down? 10 workers killed in that engagement. So behind this kind of like decoy army, the sacrificial army for the green player, we have what is 10 workers killed, now 14 workers killed total this game with the help of these Hornets. Taking a look at the worker supply, way in favor for our green Genetron player. It is now 37 workers to 51 in favor for Relax. We have a little bit of an attempted pushback by Stassin with this ground army. We'll catch these straggling green units. They will go down. So the Equalizer, this is an interesting unit. I believe it's like an anti-armored, anti-ground unit. And oh yeah, with the Fixers, I already talked about the Fixers. They are like a healing unit that also do damage. They are super, super cool. They're one of my favorite units. And the Hornets, we don't see enough of them. And there's another unit, which we probably won't see unless the red player decides to go for air. We have the Boar, which is basically a flying drill. It is so, so cool. I do have one video where they destroy a whole army of mutas with their drilling ability. It's actually so insane. I'm pretty sure it lagged out my game when all the mutas exploded. And the Scorpilisk, one of my favorite units for the Xayid as well, just because it's literally a scorpion. Like, how could you not be mad about that? We also have the Xayidling, which is the Zergling equivalent for the Xayid, if its name did not suggest that. And the Eroder, I also believe is an anti-armor unit, if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't played the Xayid in a minute. I haven't even done a lot of casting of the Custom Scion Races recently. I've been really bad about that. Trying to get back more into it, and there are some patches that I missed for this mod, so I have to read the patch notes and see what changes were made to this mod. But it's really well balanced, all things considered. And there's some of you who commented on my last video that you said you thought that this was better looking than Stormgate, and you know what, I kind of agree. Stormgate is not necessarily my cup of tea where aesthetics are concerned. I kind of like the sci-fi grit a bit more. But you know what? I still, I can't hate because it's still an RTS, and I'm really looking forward to playing it when it comes out. Now, the Farian, that's a really cool unit. It's a detection unit, and it's also a dropship. So a lot of utility with this unit as well. The Farian, such a cool looking unit also. I mean, all the units look so sick in this mod. And it looks like this is actually going to be a really tough situation for these workers. We have 12 out of 12 workers, so full saturation on these golden minerals. Will Relax respond to this? Yes, he does. How many workers went down? So only one worker killed so far by the red player, actually, still. Despite all that, we have a pretty big engagement in the middle of the map, but the army supply is way in favor for Stassin. 66 army supply to 32. Oh man, and Relax is kind of biding his time, making sure he gets a really good engagement. We also have the Reviler, which I believe is a pretty decent anti-air unit, if I'm not mistaken, and its animation is so sick. A lot of these units going down, though. Taking a look at the resources lost, 7,000 resources lost to 3,100 resources lost in favor for our red Xayid player. The third base will go down, third or fourth base will go down, and the Jupiter, this is a sick unit. It's basically a bomber unit. It throws down C4 on the ground. It is super sick. Will it throw down? That's actually a good split for the red player. I was going to say, will he throw down the C4 on all these eroders? This repulsor trying to do something. We have the cloaking ability as well. So basically what the Jupiter does is it can cloak, go in, drop some bombs, and run away. It's so cool. Just like that. 2 eroders going down at the wings of the Jupiters. I almost said hands of the Jupiters, and then just off the fly, off the cuff, I said the wings of the Jupiters, and then I just made myself cringe. I am so sorry. Oh, a big hit with those bombs on these eroders, actually pushing back the red Xayid army. So Relax saving himself with these Jupiters. Now the army supply is really evened out. 38 army supply to 32, still in favor for Stassin, but not much. Now actually in favor for Relax. 40 army supply to 34. The Badgers as well. Great anti-air units. This is kind of like a semi-capital ship for the Genetron. Solstice, the creator of the mod, if I recall correctly, said he didn't really want the races to rely on like tiered units, like a tier 3, you know, flying unit, like, you know, the Protoss with the carriers. But the Badger, I want to say it's like a tier 2.5 unit. It's not like an end-all unit if you get a critical mass of them, but they're a really good unit to mix in with your army. So that's kind of what the Badger is. It's like a tier 2.5, maybe tier 3 unit, maybe, but really not as intense as the carrier is what I would say about that. What do we have going on here? We have a little node. So the node is the supply depot equivalent for the Genetron. This is actually kind of like a scouting node. This Scorpulus will get spotted. Oh, the poor Scorpulus. That is so overkill. Relax. Oh my god. He's like, hey, look, you know what? I know there's one unit here I can basically pick up for free. Let me destroy it. Now, what I would have maybe done if I was really thinking like way ahead, like, you know, 8 steps ahead of my opponent, is I would kind of like throw down the Scorpulus at like a node or even this repulsor, and then try and bait my opponent and see if I could catch him off guard, maybe get a surround on the army. I mean, that's me thinking way ahead. It's easy to say when you're watching the game, a lot harder to say if you're actually in the middle of a game. Army supply 71 to 69. Nice. So relatively even army supply. Worker supply is in favor for Stassin, 77 to 63. Taking a look at the resources lost tab as well, it's kind of in favor for Stassin. 6,200 resources lost by our red player and 9,700 resources lost by our green player. And yeah, every unit matters, but ultimately at 13 minutes in the game, you know, not the worst difference in the world. Yeah, it's in favor for our red Xayid player, but this army is starting to look really terrifying. Army supply is starting to pick up for our red player, though. 90 army supply to 77. So we have a slight lead for the Xayid player, the red player. In case you forgot which race the Xayid was, they are the Zerg type race. Also, fun fact, the Xayid will ultimately get a full overhaul. They are going to start looking more plant-like at some point in the undetermined future. So yeah, they look more like Zerg, but the complaint is it's hard to kind of tell the difference between the units. And looking at this ball, I can kind of see that. We have like all kinds of craziness right here, including the Casnalisk. Now, the Casnalisk, if I remember correctly, is kind of like the Disruptor. I want to say it shoots like a ball of slime. But yeah, so yeah, it's kind of difficult to determine what unit composition this is unless you're really familiar with the mod. So what the overhaul will do is make these guys look like plants, and then apparently that's going to help with that. But we'll see. Also, for some reason, my neck is cramping. I'm trying so hard not to sound like I'm struggling, but I'm suffering right now. I don't know why my neck's cramping. I think it's because it's so hot in my room. Oh, and the StarCraft 2 music. Gotta love it. Now, I am casting on a mini gaming PC. Oh, we have a drop here as well. So, You know, bear with me if you see some frame drops. This will be my life for the next month/month and a half while I am out of town, but that's not going to stop me from casting. I love this. I don't really know. Okay, no, I was going to say, I don't know if Relax spotted that variant, but he did. So we've got the interdictors in the back of this, and yeah, he definitely spotted this. Oh no, this variant's going to super die. It's going to go down. But you see what I mean? So the Badgers, yeah, they're really good anti-air, but this amount of carriers, for example, would have absolutely melted that thing. This repulsor ultimately will go down. So yes, the interdictor is the anti-air stack defense for the Genetron, as we can see. So there you go, anti-air stack defense. We also have what are going to be the rich minerals going out of commission. They are going to be mined out, which is going to open up a lot of kind of map coverage for Relax as well. He's going to be able to move around between his bases way more easily at this point in the game. We have also what is going to be an interesting split of units. So I think what Stassin is preparing to do is going for the multi-pronged attack, ultimately probably trying to pull the Genetron out of position and then going for the attack and possibly the main base for the Genetron player. So here we go. Oh man, the Jupiter's throwing down their C4. This is so much damage. Ultimately, though, it looks like the Xayid will be coming out potentially ahead. I'm not really sure. These Badgers are doing so much work. At the same time, there is a little bit of an engagement at that golden expansion. Taking a look at the workers killed, 21, now 23 workers killed to 19 in favor of our red Genetron player. Ultimately, though, Relax able to clean up the red army in the middle of the map, but these these eroders and the spitters able to take out this golden base. Not the worst thing in the world because it was mined out, but a decent amount of workers did go down. The Genetron player coming back to engage this. The Badgers also with that shell ability able to keep themselves alive. You can see the energy. So there is shared energy for the Genetron as well. Once the game quiets down, I will show you. So you see this blue bar right here? That is shared energy for the entire faction. And as soon as that energy goes down, you can't use any energy abilities for your unit. So this Badger basically has indefinite energy until the shared energy for the entire Genetron goes out. That's why you kind of see that their energy bar is not going down. It's a really cool and really unique mechanic, that is for sure. Army supply, despite losing that engagement, is in favor for Stassin. 86 army supply to 48 worker supply in favor for Stassin as well. 76 workers to 66. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the Badgers really, really scary units, but with the superior army supply for the red player, I'm not sure how much staying power this green army has until Relax can kind of re-up his supply, but he is kind of starving for minerals. I mean, he's got good economy, but will he be able to keep up with the macro of the Xayid is the question. The Jupiter immediately going down. This Badger is still alive. Somehow it ultimately will go down. 9 kills on this Badger with the full health. Also ultimately going down. And oh, I love this. There's another another repulsor with the ACR just chilling at this golden base. That is actually hilarious. And the Raptor. So the Raptor, I also want to say, is like a high-speed uncloaked Banshee. It shoots up and down, though, if I'm not mistaken. And this repulsor, will it actually take out the scavenger nest? That is a good question. I don't think it will. And here we go. The Raptors will be able to take this thing down. And the repulsor melts. It goes out of existence. It gets deleted. It gets totally wiped from the game. It's totally clear. Anyway, I was thinking about how many ways I could say it died without saying it died. Deleted, wiped, melted, destroyed. Totally wrecked. But this is such a scary looking army. I love the look of the Raptors as well. Basically mini Vipers is what they are. They are so cool. I love this. They are actually kind of clearing the way for the Revilers. Oh no. We do have the Jupiter kind of chilling at this third base location. Army supply, though. Oh, no. 100 army supply to 26 in favor for Stassin. This is looking terrifying. Oh, and this is basically the nuke for the Genetron as well. I'll try to find the building that causes it, but I'm going to try and keep my eye on that. Oh, yep, there it is. So that is from, let's see if we can find it. Here it is. It's from the Olympus. This is basically like a nuclear silo for the Genetron. It is super cool. I don't see it used very often at all, but yeah, really cool animation, really cool mechanic. Oh, man. Now I feel like Stassin's just messing around. Another strike. It's like an airstrike for the Olympus. Will it actually take out these Xayathones? Oh, man. Oh, wow. And it does damage over time as well. So these Xayathones taking electricity damage is what that looks like. The Xayathones will go down. They are like a caster unit for the Xayid. Oh, man, this is looking really scary for Relax. The Revilers, the Scorpilisks, the Raptors all coming into the the main base location from this kind of like pseudo-natural base. The Badger is getting charged up. It's getting kind of replenished from this processing core, which is the main mining structure for the Genetron, but Relax, I don't know what he can do. 112 army supply to 16. The Badger does go down. The main base is going to be totally destroyed. Relax, throwing out the GG, giving the victory to Stassin. What a sick Custom Scion Races game. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.